The Daily Reflections for August 14th, Repairing the Damage. We attempt to sweep away the debris which has accumulated out of our effort to live on self-will and run the show ourselves. If we haven't the will to do this, we ask until it comes. Remember, it was agreed at the beginning we would go to any lengths for victory over alcohol. It comes from Alcoholics Anonymous, page 76. Making a list of people I had harmed was not a particularly difficult thing to do. They had showed up in my 4-step inventory. People towards whom I had resentments, real or imagined, and whom I had hurt by acts of retaliation. For my recovery to be thorough, I believed it was not important for those who had legitimately harmed me to make amends to me. What is important in my relationship with God is that I stand before Him, knowing I have done what I can to repair the damage I have done. I had always a bit of a guilty conscience when it came to this part, because I had one of those personalities where I thought I was bad and I did everything wrong and I was not a good person. I had a lot of shame. So when it came to, I wasn't the sociopathic type, but I've met those types of people. I was the exact opposite. I was a woe is me type of a person. I'm bad. I didn't do good. So I knew that there was a whole bunch of people that I had harmed. And some of which were a little bit like, especially ex-girlfriends. Those were the ones that I wasn't particularly excited about going and making an amends to. But I didn't really have an issue creating a list, checking it twice. Gonna find out that I wasn't nice. AA, recovery, is something I need to do. That should be a new song we create. Making a list. I'm checking it twice. I'm gonna find out that I was naughty and not nice. The 12 steps are coming for you. This video is going off the rails. Alright. Making a list of people I'd harmed was not a particularly difficult thing to do. They had showed up on my 4-step. People toward whom I had resentments, real or imagined. I have a resentment right now that I'm trying to get rid of. And it was a very close friend of mine who I took to Detroit to help me with the video. He ended up not working out to my expectations. Lost a very important, a very important interview. Lost the SD card. So an SD card is one of these that you stick into a camera. Okay? Everything for that video, come on, focus. Everything for that video goes on here. It lives on here. This is a very important thing. This is the video, equivalent to a videotape. So, imagine you go to Jack White's record company, his pressing plant in Detroit. You interview one of the founders of the place, and then your buddy, your cameraman, loses that. Anyway, I don't want to let go of it. Like, I seriously want to hold on to this resentment, and I haven't really talked to him too much afterwards. And then he asked me for payment, which, again, that made me mad too. I don't know why I'm talking about this, except that's a resentment I need to get over. And I need to ask myself why I feel comfortable harboring this resentment when all the other ones I know are poison, right? But for this one, whatever reason, I feel justified in holding on to. And it doesn't even matter, because the video that I'm going to make doesn't really need his footage anyway, because I'm coming at it from a different angle. I guess I just need to pray about it every morning, which I'll do right now. Let's go back to the beginning. We attempt to sweep away the debris which has accumulated out of our effort to live on self-will and run the show ourselves. If we haven't the will to do this, we ask until it comes. Remember, it was agreed at the beginning we would go to any lengths for victory over alcohol. Reminds me of something my parents said, like halfway through football season when you want to quit. Remember, you agreed to stick this through. Self-will, run the show ourselves. I mean, that's the crux of it, for me at least, is getting comfortable with the fact that, instinctually deep down, I don't know how to act, or I don't know how to relate to the world. I am maladjusted. What is the line in the 12 and 12 in the fourth step? We believe that every major, what is it? I'm going to look it up. Nearly every serious emotional problem can be seen as a case of misdirected instinct. When that happens, our great natural assets, the instincts, have turned into physical and mental liabilities. I had physical and mental. That's interesting. I never really keyed in on the word physical. Okay. Misdirected instincts. Every serious emotional problem. Okay. I had some serious emotional problems. Because of that, I demanded things from other people. Primarily that they make me feel good about myself, which obviously isn't going to work. But running the show also is ego. So I think that I know how other people should act. And well, I don't. For me, this all just ties back to not interacting with the world in the correct way. I keep coming back to something that I think I was listening to some Jungian philosophy podcast. It was talking about the world is happening. The world is not happening to you. I always thought the world was happening to me. And then I was justified in, and that I was justified in my resentments. Yeah, I gotta get over this resentment. For my recovery to be thorough, I believe it is not important for those who had legitimately harmed me to make amends to me. What is important in my relationship with God is that I stand before Him knowing I have done what I can to repair the damage I have done. All right. Well, I feel kind of... No, I know I got to get over this resentment. That's it, though. Make an effort. Make an effort to make things right if I did something wrong. It's not a complicated concept. It's one that most of us have probably been taught from when we were kids. That's a good one. Give me a lot to think about. I'm glad I talked about that resentment. Anyway, if you're trying to get sober, go to a meeting and get a sponsor. If you are sober, go to a meeting and talk to your sponsor. Anyway, thanks for watching.